On Thai PBS World tonight, the Thai military has sealed all checkpoints along the border with Cambodia. Experts say that economic impacts to Thailand of the border closure with Cambodia could spread. And Thailand's Graft watchdog to investigate Thailand's Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra over the leaked conversation with Hun Sen. And good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabunna and we begin the program tonight with the ongoing tensions between Thailand and Cambodia. And after a long list of retaliatory measures between the two countries, Thailand has eventually closed all border checkpoints with Cambodia. The Thai military ordered the closure of all crossing checkpoints along the border with Cambodia with immediate effect on Monday, which covers 7 provinces altogether, namely Sa Kaeo, Chanthaburi, Trat,ศรีสะเกษ Surin, Buriram, and Ubon Ratchathani. The orders, which were issued by the commanders of the 1st and 2nd Army regions and the Chanthaburi-Trat Border Defense Command, cite the threat posed by incursions by Cambodian forces and the presence of transnational scam networks and call centers on the Cambodian side of the border. The orders apply to the entry and exit of all types of vehicles, Thai and foreign tourists, traders, and all goods. Exemptions will be granted for humanitarian reasons such as ailing patients requiring emergency medical treatment, students attending classes in Cambodia, or when it is absolutely necessary for people's livelihoods. Army spokesman Major General Win Thai Suwari said that the restrictive measures are in line with the government's policy related to the current border tensions, and he also claimed that the action will be helpful in dealing with the scam networks which pose a threat to the Thai people. So this is the latest update regarding the border tensions and also the border closures. And just to give you a recap of the retaliation between the two countries, particularly on the border closures, we might remember that last week Cambodia has threatened to close all border checkpoints and to ban all imports from Thailand if Thai authorities do not fully reopen the border checkpoints, which have previously been partially closed. And this came after Thailand imposed restrictions on the opening hours of several border checkpoints with Cambodia in the past few weeks as tensions were growing over the border disputes. And later, Hun Sen actually decided to only ban the imports of Thai fruits and vegetables into Cambodia. And before that, Cambodia has already announced that they have stopped purchasing electricity, internet supplies, and also petrol from Thailand. And right now, Thailand has actually decided to close all of the border checkpoints, which is actually different from last time where they just only readjusted the openings of the border checkpoints. And this is an overview of how the tensions have escalated so far. But it has been reported recently that some of the checkpoints in Sa Kaeo province have been opened briefly between 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. in the evening to allow citizens of both countries to return home. So now Thailand has decided to close all of the border checkpoints, which is actually going to be a huge deal because currently there are about 16 border checkpoints between Thailand and Cambodia with 5 major checkpoints that are used to transport goods with each other. And if we really look into the border trade between the two countries, during the first 4 months of this year, border trade between the two nations was about 64 billion baht, and that is an increase of 12% over the same period last year. And this actually proves that border trade is actually a significant part for both economies, and therefore the border closures now will also mean that border trade is now put on hold, which will definitely pose economic impacts in the long run. According to national security and international affairs expert Dr. Panithan Wattanayakon told Thai PBS this morning that Thailand's closure of shared border crossings may affect Cambodian workers and entrepreneurs in the short term, but in the long term, Thai businesses may also feel the impact as well. He even analyzed that in the long run, the closure is likely to have a greater impact on Thai businesses. One reason is that at some checkpoints, the annual trade volumes reach as high as 300 billion baht. And as we just mentioned, that the Thai military ordered a ban on the cross-border movement of people and vehicles at all 16 border checkpoints shared with Cambodia, citing threats to national sovereignty posed by Cambodian troops and a surge in cross-border crimes, including call center and hybrid scams. The measures are actually the latest to be taken by Thailand amid the already tense bilateral relations with Cambodia. Dr. Panitan also said that Cambodia's response to the latest cross-border restrictions is expected in the coming days, and Thailand should be prepared for that, as he described that such potential new measures as a test of endurance. Panitan also noted that border restrictions are nothing new, as both countries have previously closed border checkpoints during periods of security concern. While crackdowns on illegal gambling, money laundering, and human trafficking may yield short-term results, he warned that these illicit operations will eventually relocate to other places. And to be effective, we must also close off alternative options and step up enforcement. Otherwise, both sides will suffer the consequences. Panitan believes that there is still a window of opportunity for both countries to engage in dialogue and that diplomacy remains the key. And he said to handle these problems going forward, decisions must be made at a policy level by figures such as the defense minister. He observed that Cambodia appears to be acting with greater unity, while in Thailand, divisions persist with opposition parties and parts of the private sector who are still unconvinced by some of the measures being taken. So this is actually the opinion from Dr. Panitan Wattanayakon, who gave an interview with Thai PBS earlier this morning. But if we look at a bigger picture, which is bilateral trade and investment, Thailand and Cambodia saw bilateral trade worth 10 billion US dollars, and 90% of that came from Thai imports, which is worth about 9.2 billion US dollars. So Thailand is actually a significant partner in terms of trade and investment, and Thailand is actually the 9th biggest investor in Cambodia, according to Thailand's Department of International Trade Promotion. And this actually proves how significant bilateral trade and border trade is. And of course, the border closures will affect not only the traders who are living along the borders between Thailand and Cambodia, but also entrepreneurs in the long run as well. And now that Cambodia has already stopped imports of petrol and electricity from Thailand, which are actually the top commodities for Cambodia, this is going to be a huge deal, which means that Thailand will have to divert to other nearby markets. So this is going to be a very tough situation for Thailand going forward. And in light of the ongoing tensions, the government has somehow reassured that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And Thailand's Foreign Affairs Ministry said that he is optimistic that the two countries can still engage in bilateral talks to resolve the ongoing tensions. Thailand's Foreign Minister Marit Singyeampong said today that he is optimistic that Thailand and Cambodia can resume bilateral talks to resolve the border disputes and avoid potential clashes and unnecessary loss of life. He said that channels for talks are still open for both sides, in addition to the Joint Boundary Commission, or the JBC, the Regional Border Committee, or the RBC, and the General Border Committee, or the GBC, adding that Prime Minister Pathongthach Shinawatra wants a bilateral dialogue to resume as quickly as possible, and the Thai Foreign Ministry has been trying to make that happen, even though it is not easy. Asked to comment on a report that Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen has rejected the JBC talks, Marit said that he understood that he did not mean Cambodia has completely rejected the JBC channel, but that it wants to see some progress before further JBC meetings. He also said that the Thai embassy in Phnom Penh and the Cambodian embassy in Bangkok are the two channels through which the two countries can start talking, even though the Thai ambassador is not in Cambodia and the charge d'affaires remains in charge. The Thai foreign minister dismissed any suggestion that Thailand has downgraded its diplomatic relations with Cambodia by recalling its ambassador to Bangkok. He also rejected the idea of third-party mediation in the conflict, claiming that the neighboring countries can work their differences out bilaterally. So let's give you a recap of their standpoints between Thailand and Cambodia. You might remember that Thailand only wanted to focus on the bilateral discussions when it comes to border disputes, but Cambodia has decided to escalate the border disputes to the ICJ or the World Court. So you can see that the standpoint between Thailand and Cambodia is still very different. So we will still have to wait and see how they will actually try to negotiate and start with the continuing bilateral talks as well. And now with the leaked audio clip that has caused much controversy during the past week, the Prime Minister might be facing legal consequences as the anti-Graft body has accepted the case to investigate whether Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra has violated ethical standards. The National Anti-Corruption Commission, or the NACC, has resolved unanimously to accept and investigate claims made in a petition filed by Senate Speaker Mongkol Surasatja, accusing Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra of gross ethical misconduct over her leaked conversation with Cambodian Senate President Hun Sen. The probe will take about 10 days to complete, during which the corruption watchdog will review an accurate translation of the conversation and summon witnesses for questioning. The investigative panel will also find out if the Constitutional Court has accepted a petition on the same matter filed by a group of 36 senators led by General Sawat seeking to terminate the premiership of Prime Minister Paetongtarn. Meanwhile, it is reported that the Constitutional Court has brought forward its scheduled meeting from July 8th to July 1st, fueling speculation that the court is to consider the senator's petition. Previously, some political activists have filed petitions against her over the notorious phone conversation between Paetongtarn and Hun Sen. One of them being Rungkrai Leekitwattana, who filed a petition with the Election Commission last Thursday, asking them to investigate whether Paetongtarn had violated the Constitution in order to proceed with impeachment. Former Senator Somchai Sawangkan also lodged a petition with the police at the Central Investigation Bureau to press criminal charges against Prime Minister Paetongtarn. Political activist Sisuwan Janya also filed a petition with the anti-Graft body asking it to proceed with impeachment for her violation of ethical standards that could oust her from office. And regarding the investigation, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra told reporters during a press conference after the cabinet meeting this morning that she is willing to provide further explanation over the leaked audio clip. She even said that the recording is what country leaders often use during negotiations, adding that it is clear that in the clip, she did nothing that affects the country. However, when reporters asked about calls for her resignation, she simply lied to the reporters and left the scene. So with the ongoing situation, this will definitely be tough on Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, as the consequences mean that she could be ousted as the Prime Minister. So this will depend how the NACC and the Constitutional Court will consider this investigation. And this is actually not looking good for her at all. But we have to say that this is quite surprising how she actually responded to reporters earlier this morning about the audio clip. And apart from these ongoing challenges, there are still a lot of issues on her shoulders, from the border tensions, the cabinet reshuffle, which is expected to be announced by this week. There's also the economic stability, trade talks with the U.S., and the list goes on. So this is going to be very tough on Paetongtarn and her government. But in non-related news, the Thai government has actually approved a budget from the Central Fund worth 115 billion baht to stimulate the economy and to ease the impacts from the reciprocal trade tariffs. And that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. Sawasdee ka.